JHK here for Sportskeeda, and joining me today is UFC heavyweight Josh Parisian. Josh, thank you so much for the time, man. I see you're in the wilderness. What are you doing, man?
Yeah, you caught me at dinner. There's like a mill pond behind me. Got some ducks.
Nice, man. Nice.
Yeah,
Is
nice little area.
that's Michigan? Michigan is a beautiful place, man. How's the weather right now?
It's really nice. It's actually been it was hot today. I think it was like 80s. I don't know how hot it gets there, but that's a pretty hot day for Michigan.
Let's get into it, man, right away. UFC debut, Parker Porter. You drop a decision.
Yeah.
You know, what did you think was just not clicking for you in that fight?
You know, I think a lot of it had to do with putting the UFC on a pedestal and just thinking it was different than it was going to be, and pretty much everyone's whole career, whether it's going through amateur, going through pro, you're just thinking about I gotta get to the UFC. I got to get to the UFC, and you. I just saw your hat, retired drug dealer. Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah. And so you put it up on a pedestal, and then I'm finally there, and it's like, oh no, like here it is. And I mean, afterwards, I realized that it's just like a regular fight, just way more production, way more cameras and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's just me and a dude getting in a fist fight. So hopefully my nerves will be a little bit better. And when I went into the fight, something just didn't feel right. My legs felt really heavy. I think it was just an adrenaline dump. And then when I hit him really hard and his eyes rolled back in his head, and I'm like, oh, I got to finish because I don't feel right. You know what I mean? So I just swing, didn't put him out. I'm like, all right, now I'm going to have to pretty much coast for the rest of the fight because I don't have much left.
That's interesting because you mentioned that you did in the first round, you clipped him. So it didn't seem like that you had a hard time getting going, getting started, right? But then really looking at it, what you're saying is that something was just like in your nerves. Was it in your nerves or anxiety or what was it?
I think it was adrenaline and nerves and just my legs. They normally feel a certain way because I'm about to get in a fight. You know what I mean? Just I'll have a little bit of adrenaline and stuff like that. They feel a little, but they just felt really heavy, really stiff. And I don't know, my body just didn't feel right. It was like I'm in my vehicle and all the check engine lights are going off and you know what I mean? Something wasn't right. And it might have looked like my cardio wasn't there, but like my preparation was great. It was just something happened. And maybe it was adrenaline, maybe it was a bunch of other things. You know what I mean? I've tried to like think about all the things that it could be. And since I don't really know, I've just tried to work on everything that I possibly can that might have been it.
Yeah, even with that, you still lasted all 3 rounds, man. Basically on empty, like you're saying, like you just on survival. Was it survival mode, and you still went to the decision with the guy? Was there anything that's positive from the experience?
My mindset, like it's funny because like up here is like a Lamborghini, like I will last forever. You know what I mean? I'll never quit. But my body's like a Ford Pinto. You know what I mean? It just it's not the same. My body will give out way before my mind. Which is something that like I'll always finish a fight. And I made a realization in that fight, or actually in this training camp, that whenever I get tired, I'll start shutting down certain things that are important, like fainting. You know what I mean? If I'm fainting, I'm kind of making a threat. I'm making you like second guess what you're gonna do. I'll shut that down when I start getting tired, and then I won't be in a low stance anymore. I'll start getting upright. So all these things I'll start to remove to conserve energy. And now I'm just fighting to survive instead of fighting to win. You know what I mean? So I've had to change my mindset in this camp a little bit to whenever I'm starting to get really tired, like, okay, instead of being like, oh, okay, I got 2 minutes left, I got to survive. Like, no, I have 2 minutes to win. Just a different intention in my training. And I'm trying to carry that over to my fight.
I also heard after your last fight, you contracted COVID. How did you handle the virus, man?
The virus was like, I would say it was right in between a cold and the flu. I don't know if you had the flu. The flu's pretty bad. It was somewhere right in between. It wasn't as bad as the flu. But what was really weird is like once it was over, I had no residual effects at all. My cardio felt great. Everything felt great. I used to get bronchitis all the time. And after I was being sick, I would still I'd still be coughing up phlegm for months. And it was like a really tough thing, but wasn't that bad. And I know everybody's affected differently. So that's the weird thing about the virus is someone might not feel anything. Somebody might be obliterated by it. I kind of fell like right in between, I think.
There must have been a lot of concern, because I know you have a young child, you know what I mean, and carrying that type of virus around your family, it's very strenuous, man, stressful.
It was very stressful because she actually got sick, and they were talking. A lot of people were saying that kids just don't get it. You know what I mean? It was like not that much of a concern. And then there was it was like a strain of it that was more contagious and was a little bit different. And she got very sick, and that was the worst part about it. It was miserable to see her sick.
Is she okay now? Like, everything's healthy for everybody?
She's good now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It was just was just tough to watch. You know what I mean? Because once you have a kid, I don't know if you have any kids, but like your empathy changes so much. And when I see her, any sort of misery, it's just crippling. It destroys me. Yeah.
My daughter went into surgery when she was a couple years old and got her tonsils taken out. Right. And that's just a regular procedure, you know what I mean? But that kills you inside, man. Watching your child getting carted into the surgery room, even though you know that they're safe, but still, it's just
100%
heartbreaking.
And it's so hard to explain this to people that don't have kids, because like you wouldn't understand. But like, I mean, you would, but somebody who doesn't have kids wouldn't understand. Is you start like playing the worst possible things that could happen out in your head, and you're like, oh my god, like, just I don't know. I beat myself up with it a lot. Like, I see her walking, I'm like, oh my god, she could fall and hit that edge. I gotta get up. You know what
I mean? yeah. I know what you're saying, man. I even think about that stuff when I'm driving alone in my car for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, dude, that's the worst time when you're alone with your thoughts. And yeah.
It's the worst, man. So, anyways, like you got this fight coming up June 19th. You got Roque Martinez, man. Roque, he's a guy that came into this promotion. He's 0-2. I'm pretty sure you've probably watched a couple of his fights. What do you think about him?
Yeah, I didn't. I watched. I used to not watch fights, but I changed my approach on it now. Now I watch fights early in the camp, just so that I can I understand what he's doing, but I forget about. Oops, hold on, I turn the volume down. I used to not get nervous when I watch people's fights, and then, but then I don't know what he's gonna do. I kind of rely on my coaches, and I still rely on my coaches, but I like to get an idea now, so I'll watch it early in the camp, and then I just won't watch him. But what was the question? I'm sorry. What did I think about him? He's a very tough guy. Very tough. Can take a hit. You know what I mean? Good boxing. I don't think he uses his hips and body the best way that he could to create power. But I think he's sharp, very tight boxing. Good at getting on the inside, short, choppy leg kicks.
Did you watch his fight against Krokop?
Yeah, he actually did good. I mean, only lost because of was a cut.
Yeah.
In Japan, crazy.
In Japan, they don't put Vaseline on your face.
Oh, they don't?
Yeah. So once you get cut, it's like, if it's bad, it's over. The fight.
That's crazy, huh? But I guess they do score by. Oh no, was it Pride? Was he in, or was that Risen? I forget.
Yeah, both. They're the same rules.
Both? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know that Pride would score by damage done. I don't know if Risen's the same, but that makes sense why they wouldn't grease the face. They're looking for damage.
Yeah, they've Japan just changed the rule, like their next event, where they're gonna start putting Vaseline on people's faces. Yeah,
okay.
But other than that, before they didn't do it. Yeah, he lost because of the cut, but he did do really well. He's a tough guy, man, and one thing about him is he's not gonna try to like grapple you, and I think that's a different scenario, right, compared to your last fight.
Yeah. That is very nice. And I have to worry about the grappling. You know what I mean? Because my strength is definitely striking, very unorthodox striking. And if you had to ask me what my weakness would be, I would say it's probably wrestling. You know what I mean? The answer would probably be take me down. That's what you have to do. If he just wants to stand, I believe that I'm going to beat him up. And I'm really pushing for 50K bonus. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make some money.
He's the same guy, man. I'm pretty sure he's thinking the same thing too. He's like, Josh is not going to try to grapple me.
This guy's not going to take me down 100%. Yeah, no, he's excited like I am. And I think, I think it's going to be a great fight. You got two dudes that are looking to knock each other out. And not only are we looking to stand up, I'm 0-1, he's 0-2. He has to know that if he doesn't come and show up, he'll be cut. You know what I mean? I'm looking at the same kind of thing. If I don't show up, if I don't have a good performance, it might be my last fight in the UFC. And that's man, that's different. That's a different kind of motivation.
It's a recipe for the best version of both of you to come out in this fight.
Yeah. Yep. I think so too. I think it's gonna be a great fight.
So how do you see the fight though? Like, envision the fight. How do you see it? Is it gonna be like one of those bloody drag out wars? Because Roque is pretty tough, man. Hard to finish.
Yeah, I think that's exactly. I think it's just I'm tough to finish too. I think that it's just gonna be a lot of him hitting me hitting him. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping. I mean, it's got the perfect recipe for a fight of the night. So hopefully both of us can walk away with extra 50 grand.
Yeah, I think he's probably thinking the same thing, man, because the matchup, it plays out well for both of you. The stylistically, the matchmakers, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I have nothing bad to say about him, honestly. And I'm sure he doesn't, because him and I are the same dude. I'm just taller. You know what I mean? We're looking to do the same thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think that this fight is, like you said, one of the potential fight of the nights. You know, someone's going to get paid really well. June 19th, man, you're back in action. Yeah. Josh, I can't wait to see you face Roque. Roque's a tough competitor, but, man, you guys both bring it, so I'm excited, man. Thank you so much for the time.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Have a good night.